Every student that disappears from your course started excited. They started motivated. They genuinely wanted to succeed. These clients who regret buying your course aren't the problem. They are a symptom of a bigger disconnect between experiences and expectations. I'm Dr. Catrina Mitchum, and I've been designing and redesigning courses online since 2009, and I wrote my dissertation on what happens when student expectations are different from what they experience in courses. What most folks don't realize is that they're creating disappointment without even knowing it, right? And disappointed clients make it so that it's harder to sell that course in the future. So, what creates this gap between expectations and experiences in online courses? In my research, I found that it usually comes down to three kind of mismatches, right? We're looking at mismatches in time, support, skills, and results. So, time mismatch. This might be where your marketing was promising quick wins or they could get it done in this amount of time. But real learning takes time. And if clients expect to see things happen at a certain pace or even immediately, when they hit that kind of messy middle of making change and learning new things and applying them, they think there's something wrong. They think they're doing something wrong. They think there's something wrong with the course because they're not doing things in the amount of time that your marketing said they would. The second mismatch is support. So you might have really comprehensive materials, right? You made content for every piece of knowledge that you could possibly think they might need or that you wanted to give them. But if clients are coming in and they're expecting direction and some hand-holding or at least support when they have trouble, then we're going to feel that disconnect, right? They're going to feel abandoned. They might feel stupid if they need help and there isn't help or support there. Third is a mismatch in skills. And I've talked about this before because you need to make sure that your course is set for the right level. If you call your course beginner friendly, but it actually requires some sort of background knowledge or skills that they don't actually have, then your client's experience is going to be terrible, right? Because they're coming in expecting this to be at their level and it's not. And so it's going to feel really hard because they don't have the foundational pieces to take that next step that you're trying to take them on. The fourth mismatch is the one that I actually think is the most important, and that is a results mismatch. Say that 5 times fast. Clients see success stories, right? They see the case studies maybe that you provided, but they don't understand what it actually took to get those results. And so they're expecting to come in and to be able to very easily figure out how to take the steps to get those same results. And when their actual experience in the course doesn't help them get the results, then the course hasn't worked for them, right? It's another mismatch between what they expected and what they're actually getting and experiencing. I used to teach college level writing, and I can't tell you how many times students were angry with me that the first year writing course wasn't a lit course. They were expecting to come in and read books and do an analysis. And that is not what the course focused on. It wasn't even in the marketing for that course, but it matched with their previous experiences, right? And so that is part of what you're also working against. It's people coming in with previous experience and preconceived notions about what they're going to find, regardless of what the mismatch is. When progress and experience doesn't match what they came in expecting to get, expecting to see results in, expecting to experience, expecting the time frame, whichever one it is, and it could be more than one, when the experience isn't matching the expectation, it's very, very hard to stay motivated. And so we kind of start to see this spiral of demotivation, right? They feel shame and doubt because it's not happening the way they expected, and they're disappointed, right? And disappointed clients can kind of go one of two ways. Some people blame themselves. The industry has started blaming them too, when it's not always their fault. So they blame themselves, maybe they just disappear, they may quietly ask for a refund, but regardless of how they handle the course themselves, they're definitely not recommending you to people. They definitely don't become repeat customers. And over time, when they do finally realize that, oh, maybe it wasn't my fault, they may start to take to one of the long threads on threads that starts with, don't take this course, and add your course to the list. You don't want to be on one of those lists. On the other hand, sometimes disappointed clients lash out. They blame the course, they blame you. They become very vocal about their disappointment. These are the ones that leave negative reviews. They actively warn other people away from your course. Either way, you lose. Research from 2014, which yes, it is old, but it shows that acquiring new customers costs 5 to 7 times more than keeping an existing one. And repeat customers spend 67% more than new customers. And the current research suggests that has increased in that 11-year period by 60%, right? So whether they disappear quietly or they lash out, it's a potential repeat customer that you don't have anymore. And this is why buyer's remorse isn't just a customer service issue. It's a business growth issue. You're not just losing one client, you're losing potentially all future clients that they may have referred had the experiences and expectations matched. And the worst part is you feel crappy about it, right? Because you want to put good things into the world. You want people to be successful. That's why you're doing this in the first place. The good news is you can prevent a lot of this. Not always. Some people can never be pleased, but there are a lot of things that we can do in order to prevent this scenario from happening. Because if you've had clients disappear, it's probably not your fault either. You weren't taught to be a teacher, and most people teach how they were taught. So if you took a course that was nothing but a content dump and didn't have all of the pieces built in that you needed to succeed, if your expectations didn't match your experiences, then it's hard for you to build something that does that for someone else. And then somewhere along the way, a mismatch gets created between expectations and experiences. But once you understand these mismatches, you can design them out of your course, right? We can get ahead of those things. We can get ahead of expectations and then fix the marketing to match. If you want to see how these mismatches might be showing up in your own course, grab my free Course Fixer checklist linked in the description. In my next video, I'm going to talk about what clients are actually looking for when they evaluate a course. The things that signal that they can trust that when they buy this course, this one will be different. I'm going to get the results I need. If it's not there, it'll be there next week.